So today's class is a Love Saves the Day class, and proceeds from your presence and your practice today are serving the Martha P. Johnson Institute. I love this organization, and I love Martha as you know, an outspoken and fabulous gay rights activist, and you know, one of the, you know, we forget that Pride was started by the big riot at Stonewall, and she was one of the great leaders to find that riot against prejudice. So this foundation was formed in her name, and I love it because, you know, it's in this in the spirit of resurrecting Marsha, right? This incredible spirit. And I know when so much for me, when fear takes over, and my own depression, self-loathing, all of these, like, you know, qualities that squash my spirit and keep me from fighting and having faith, I really download and call on some incredible teachers, some amazing activists and fighters and pioneers. I watch them, you know, I like read their speeches, I watch their shows, I embody them. It's kind of creepy. Like, even when I was a kid, my walls were covered with pictures of, you know, great singers and dancers. I would have birthday parties for them, and they were really real for me. To really call on their powerful energies. So for today's class, I would love that for you. Mercury is in retrograde, so it's a time of going backwards. But to see really, who is it, or one person that you can hold, whose energy inspires you, especially in a very personal way. Perhaps it was a teacher that really believed in you, that supported you, a friend. Doesn't matter who it is, but we can keep these energies close and near to us that really remind us of this, and awaken and inspire and encourage the power within us to fight, especially now. So go ahead and take your seat. Whatever image it is, it said in yoga is called the practice of svadhyaya. So even having an image of a lotus for me is a reminder of the liberation and freedom that can exist within the mud and reality of our lives. And we just surround ourselves. We surround ourselves with images of people. These are these are yogic practices. Because it is what we know. Let's just say, even when we were kids and we would hang out with different types of people, what wakes up in us. We can go either way. I can read so much hate and so much, you know, there's so much around us, and I see right away how I'm just taken down. I too want to kill and get so angry and become full of hatred. I see how it poisons my immediate interactions with others. Anger is powerful, but if we can begin to turn it around in this practice of flipping a perspective towards what can empower us. So you can take your hands to your hearts, rub them together, create a little heat, that friction that comes when we rub up against something, this flame that can burst. Just turn towards, consciously make it a practice to listen to these incredible speeches and riots, and especially Martha P. Johnson's just incredible, outspoken, flamboyant, passionate voice. And then you can take your hands to your hearts in prayer if you like. Today is just a day of reverence. As you drop your head in towards your throat, hear the sound of your breath. As we honor these great voices of great activists in their own ways. A little kind of mission statement from the Marsha P. Johnson Institute. It says we intend to reclaim Marsha P. Johnson, right? Reclaiming as a Black trans people to her life and legacy. It's in reclaiming of Marsha in our own lives that we give ourselves permission to reclaim autonomy to our minds, to our bodies, and to our futures. We were founded both as a response to the murders of Black trans women and women of color, and how that's a connection to our exclusion from social justice issues, namely racial, gender, and reproductive issues, as well as gun violence. Marsha P. Johnson Institute protects and defends human rights of Black transgender people. We do this by organizing, advocating, creating an intentional community to heal, develop transformative leadership, and promoting our collective power. So take a couple more breaths. Again, I love this image so much of reclaiming someone's spirit, embodying it, and walking in those footprints. Dancing in those heels. Where every day can be part of these marches, riots, and celebrations. So whoever's voice that you reclaimed, as it reminds you of your own, awakens your own. It comes through you through the sound of Om. Take another deep breath in. If your palms are there, just this gesture of giving thanks for people that have even sacrificed their own lives, knowing the dangers they face, to become outspoken, to come out. The future generations' rights. And then go ahead and take your feet out and in front of you, your hands behind you. Let's place it all up onto our altar. Root down through the hands and feet. Lift up through the hips, and then go ahead, clear out your voice, free your voice for sure as you stick out your tongue, and breathe out through your mouth, lion's breath. Again, soften your hips down, deep breath in, and then you're placing your great voice right up on the altar. One more time, soften the hips down, breathe in, and then breathe out. And then release your hips down. Crawl forward onto your hands and your knees, and take your left hand center, pick up the right arm, and slide your to the ground. So awakening this whole area of our speech, our expression, as your head releases down and bows to the earth. You can take your left arm behind you if you're ready for it. It's pretty early. And then take your left arm back up, plant your hand down to the ground, and then it's like you're pulling out these great spirits up as this great reflection, supported side. Right hand down, and right away pull the right knee in towards the nose, a little cat-cows, but using the right leg. And then swing the right leg back as you breathe in, look up, arch the spine. Round in towards yourself, draw the right knee to the nose, swing the right leg back and look up. One more time, climbing all the way in. And then reach the right leg back, arch the spine. This time extend the left arm forward so that you're reaching back. The heels and the feet are the roots, and then you're reaching forward, offering that energy out into the future, into the moment. Take another deep breath in, arch the spine a little bit, and then child's pose as you step back towards your heels. You can rock the hips a little bit as we become humble and bow to those who came before us. And then rise back up onto your hands and knees. Right hand center, left arm. And then snake your left shoulder to the ground, your ear to the earth. Reach your right arm forward, move your hips a little bit from side to side. Breathe into the back of the shoulder, your neck, and your ear to the earth to listen. And then take your right hand back down. Allow the right shin to sink into the earth as you peel open with the left arm, reaching up and allowing yourself to shine in all that glory in these images. Stretch the left arm over your head, arch back, and then circle your hand down. Round in as you spark up the belly, that great space of action and will. Arch the spine, breathe and look up. Again, climb the way, all the way and breathing out. Swing the left leg back, look up. Exhale and round in, and then this time, extend your left leg back, flex the toes, and then offer that right arm forward. Take a deep breath in, find your center, and then back into child's pose as you exhale. This time look forward. You're going to come right into knees, chest, and chin, so drop your heart right between your thumbs. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, open up the throat, and then drop the pelvis. Roll your shoulders up and back as you come into a cobra right away. Take the gaze up towards the third eye. And then come onto your hands and knees for downward facing dog as you breathe out. As you inhale, extend the right leg up and high. As you exhale, draw the right knee in towards the nose and then step forward into a twist. Take the right arm up, draw the right hip crease back, and then find that same feeling of reaching back through the left heel and then forward with the right arm. Arch the spine, breathe in, and then circle the right hand down and straighten out through the right leg. Bend through the left knee a little bit so that you can draw those right toes back and bow forward. Breathing into the backs of the legs, into the feet, into your roots. And then from the back knee, rebend the right, from straightening the left leg, bend the right knee, and then plant your palms, downward dog as you breathe out. Come forward into a plank pose. Press the ground away, lift the navel. Drop the knees down, keep your toes tucked under as you press the hips towards your heels for crouching tiger, peeling open through the roots. From there, you're going to get the strength to burst forward back into a plank, bend the elbows and lower down in one piece for cobra. Point your toes, roll the shoulders up and back, cobra, breathe in, look up. Downward dog as you tuck your toes under and bow your head as you breathe out. As you inhale, extend the left leg high. Dome in towards your center. Pull the navel up towards the spine. Step forward and left arm up. Draw the left hip crease back. Actively reach through that right inner heel. And then stretch the left arm forward and find a little bit of a back bend. As you take your left hand down, straighten through the left, blocks or books or anything. Press into the ground with your hands, flex the left toes, but bend deeply through the right knee so that you're bowing forward. Straighten out through the right leg, bend the left knee, rise up high lunge, a little bend through the right knee so that you can drop the pelvis down. But reach into those right heels, into your roots to reach up. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Plank pose as you breathe in. Crouching tiger, knees come down, toes are tucked as you send your hips towards your heels, looking forward. And then you're going to press off the feet to again lower down onto your bellies. Maybe it's a higher cobra with your hands closer towards your waist. You can even lift the thighs up towards upward dog, lengthening the arms. And then downward facing dog as you breathe out. Take a deep breath in here. And then a deep breath out to press down into the hands and feet. Drop your chin towards your throat. Find that ujjayi breathing, this victorious breath, purifying our great anchor and reminder of our victory. And then bend your knees, look forward. You're still going to use the power of those feet to step, or take one big hop to the top of your mats. Lift your chest, breathe in, look up, and then bow down as you breathe out. Conscious bowing to your feet, to those roots. So bend in your knees as you rise up to stand, arms high. Hands to your heart for a moment. Again, gratitude. And then release your sides. As you breathe in, to draw up from your feet, from your roots. And then a big bow forward over your legs as you breathe out. As you inhale, it's your right leg back, your left leg straight up for three-legged dog. As you breathe out, left knee in towards the belly, but then crouching tiger. Right from there, it's chaturanga. Press back through the heels, bend the elbows, keep the legs strong so the chest can burst forward. Drop down for cobra or upward dog, breathing in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Bend your knees deeply, look forward. Step, step, or one big hop. Lift your chest and breathe in. Bow down and breathe out. Rooting down through your feet to rise up. Arms by your sides as you breathe out. A little bend in your knees. Breathe in through the soles of the feet. Look up. And then a conscious bow forward and down. As you inhale, extend the left leg back, and then your right leg straight up for three-legged dog. Breathe out, draw the right knee in towards the nose, crouching tiger, hips to your heels, to your belly or chaturanga, keeping the legs strong, chest open. And then roll the shoulders back upwards, or cobras, downward dog as you breathe out. Bend your knees, inhale, look forward, step, step, hop, or walk. Lift your chest. Bow down, root down to rise up as you breathe in. This time take it all the way down. We got one more round just like that. Right leg back, left leg high on your inhale. Breathing out to dome in, and then crouching tiger. Time leave out the vinyasa or make your way forward. Cobra upwards and downward dog as you breathe out. Bend your knees, look forward, step, step, hop. Or walk, lift your chest, look up halfway, bow down as you breathe out. Rise up as you breathe in. Last time, just fall down as you breathe out. Inhale the left leg back, your right leg up to the sky. Draw the right knee in, crouching tiger, breathe out. Pausing here, inhale. And then it's to your belly or halfway. Cobras or upward dogs. Downward dog as you breathe out. Bend your knees deeply, look forward, step, step, hop, walk, lift your chest, and then bow down. Root down through your feet, burst up, and then hands to your hearts. From here, hook your thumbs, reach forward, arch, backwards, and then take it forward as you interlace your hands behind you, feeling these guides. Holding our hands, maybe pulling on us a little bit to wake up. And then a deep bend in your knees, rise up, fierce pose, super fierce pose with Marsha. You want your hips to draw back, a little flick of the tailbone so that the belly, then lay your palms forward to step back plank and lower or jump right into your chaturanga. Cobras or upward dogs. Then downward dog as you breathe out. Let's add on some warrior poses. Right leg up and high and call them in. Right foot forward, left heel back. Draw the right hip into the left heel to ground through both feet. And then right toes, hip back. And then bend the right knee, keep it flying pranam, a great offering of devotion. Drop your heads, interlace your hands behind you. We're taking a devotional, humble warrior. Warrior 2 as you press into the right foot to rise up. Sink and then extend. This is such a celebratory shape as you drop a little bit deeper, but plug the thigh bones in and then allow the arms to come out. Any little movements, if you have some music on especially. Peaceful as you arch back. And then the hands down. Crouch tiger for today so that you can pause for a moment and feel the strength from your roots. Anytime you can leave it out or make your way forward. Cobras or upward dogs on your inhale. Downward dog on your exhale. Left leg high as you breathe in. Step forward. Seal the right heel down as well as the left foot. Press into the left foot and rise up. Warrior 1. Draw the inner thighs in. Straighten through the left leg. Pull everything back. Draw the left toes back. Fire up the right leg. So from behind you, you can offer it. Drop your heads. Interlace your hands. Devotional. Humble warriors. And warrior 2, you circle the right arm all the way up and back and land. Plug the thigh bones into the pelvis and then extend the arms forward. I always like to look back too. Sometimes they just say, just look forward. We have to look back, see what your right arm's doing, what's going on. We can even reach back from the past and then send it forward. Peaceful warrior, arch up and backwards. Keep dropping the left shin forward and then circle yourselves back. Oh, crouching tiger, pausing there, or make your way forward to your belly or chaturangas. Cobras or upwards, downwards as you breathe out. It's the right leg up and high. We'll add on to that sequence, stepping forward to rise. Warrior 1. Through the right leg. Pause here for a moment. Let's take our pranam to the back of our mat. Those who came before us. Devotional warrior. Your head. Warrior 2 to the back of your mat. Legs parallel, the toes flying warrior. Warrior 2 to the front of your mats. We're adding on rainbow, straighten out through the right leg, flex through the toes. Your right hand, I like to get kind of twisty at any time. And then right from here, extended ankle, using the strength of the left leg, bend the right knee, right hand down, or you can always, of course, put your forearm to your thigh, and then coil as you arch back. Take a big breath in. And then circle the left hand around you to straighten the right leg right into a triangle pose. So you're welcome to take a block underneath your hand, root down into the right foot, draw up all the strength into your center, and from there shine and offer it back out. Find a half bind with the left arm behind you. You can use your left hand to open up your right tricep. It's crouching tiger. Hips back to your heels. Pausing, looking forward. I want to make a t-shirt. What would Martha do? Or what would somebody else do? So we pause, rise up, and then take it back. You've got your left leg lifting, big breath in, stepping forward for your warrior 1. Lengthen the left leg, draw the hands back, spin it to the back of the mat, big bend in the right knee. Flying pranam. Drop your heads, interlace your hands, and then it's your warrior 2. Parallel the toes, flying warriors. Warrior 2 to the front of the mat, left leg out, right toes in, and then swing back, rainbow. From the bend in the right knee, you want to then straighten the right leg, press into the right foot, deep bend in the left angle, but still draw the left thigh bone into the right heel as you arch back. Circle the right arm around you. As you find a block underneath your hand, and twist open. Roll the shoulders back, draw the shoulder blades back, open up through the ribs, and then take your hand behind you, back so you feel the support and strength of the back, and then begin to bend through the left knee to reach forward. Towards your Gomukasana, arms, the hand behind you, your fingertips, t-shirts, or your right hand to your left elbow. But then it's like, I like to think this is kind of like a little nape when you see animals drag the little ones, like a lion, from the back of their neck. And sometimes these great fierce warriors do that to me when I call them in them. Hands to the crouching tiger. There, anytime you'll move it through cobras or upward dogs. And downward dog as you breathe out. We got another round, right leg up. Step forward as you rise up. Warrior one. The right leg, pull everything back. Remember, we're taking it to the back of the mat. Bend the left knee. Offer it up. Drop your heads and catch your hands. Warrior two to the front of the mat. Circle the arm up, parallel the toes. And rainbow. This time look forward and I want you to launch yourself right into half moon. Ardha Chandrasana, so you may stumble along the way. You can find a block as we kind of throw ourselves out into the future, using the strength, the energy, and inspiration. Reach back for the top of your left foot. Press your left foot into your hand and arch back for a full moon, if that's in your practice today. And then let yourselves boomerang back into peace that moves you. And then angle. You can go half bind, full bind, no bind. It's all about igniting your authenticity and how these shapes can begin to express you. Maybe you'll straighten out through the right leg. And then rebend through the right knee. We're going to come right into rock star. So outer edge of the left foot, step the right foot back behind you, press the pelvis up to the sky as you arch back. You can bend your knees, so again you use the strength of flipping back into your crouching tiger, hips high. Staying there or moving it through. Big inhale. And a big exhale. Last time with the left leg, inhaling, rising up, warrior one. Straighten the leg and put a little bit of you into it as it awakens these poses. Offer it up, devotional. Catching your hands behind you. Humble. Warrior two, right back to the front of the mats, parallel the toes and land. Rainbow warrior, straighten the left leg, go all the way back. And then rebend the left knee, grab a block, if you need, on your way up into your Ardha Chandrasana, pressing into those roots, and then offering it up. Our roots are strengthening, they're fertilizing, they're inspiring. They allow us to grow. As you press your foot back into your hand, open up the top of that right thigh, and then let yourselves land back into your peaceful warrior with a bend in the left knee, finding your half bound, full bound, or no bound hands. Find those hands as you draw the right shoulders back, these great guides. Lengthen the left leg or keep it bent, and then rebend the left knee. Remember, into your rock star, come onto the outer edge of the right foot. I like to always press into the ball of those, what is this, left foot, and then bend the knees to flip it around. Pausing in that crouching or any time, leaving it out. And we'll meet in downward facing dog with a big breath out. Take a big inhale. Find your breath as you breathe out. And back up into a warrior. Big old inhale. Let's press into the right foot. And then from here, do straighten through the right leg. You can begin to find your hands a little bit more cactusy. Step the right foot forward, or the left foot forward, the right hip back. And then drop your hands down. Find them behind the heart in a prayer. So again, how this great honoring can begin to take us forward. These actions weren't in vain. And then spill the chest. Bow the right, your foot over down towards your right foot. You can soften the right knee, let the spine release. Find some refuge, some solace as you bow down. And then from here, yogis, bend through the right knee. We're going to follow that same kind of popping up off this back foot. But I want you to, actually, I'm going to come over and adjust my screen. I didn't realize you couldn't see the mat. So that you can flex the toes, but then walk your fingertips back towards your left foot. Because the feeling is you want to place the right foot down. Press deeply into those right fingertips and then see if as you exhale, ooh, maybe a little bit closer. You can lift the left heel. You're really using the power of that exhale of the navel and press deeply into the right foot. For perch pose, maybe take it a couple more times. It kind of takes a few moments for the brain to get accustomed to what's going on. It feels like you're going to fall back. But again, maybe one big exhale. Yeah. And then launch off your right toes as you come into a standing split. So press into the right foot. Maybe find a balance with your arms behind you or take a hold of the right ankle or your hands to blocks. And then as you plant your palms down, see if you can shift the weight into the hands, pick up the right heel a couple times, just this little play with risk taking. And then maybe on an exhale, you can pop the right heel towards your right sitting bone. We're all going to land in a seated twist. Ever ready, tuck your left knee behind your right ankle. And then we'll twist over towards the right. So left arm up. You're welcome to lengthen the left leg out and in front of you. Sometimes it's more comfortable for the joints, depending on what's going on with your body. But reach your left arm up and then twist, look back. Root down into those right fingertips, let the right hip drop. And every exhale, see if you can wring out through the spine, through all those organs that we want to reawaken. So our body works to be this incredible vehicle and instrument for our spirit. Come over to the other direction, bow your head down towards the ground. And then we're going to shapeshift towards a full Gomukasana, cow face pose. Maybe blanket or a block underneath your sitting bones. You're going to stack the knees on top of each other a little bit more with your feet out to the side. And then it's the left arm up, so it's opposition. As you can begin to draw the left side of the waist forward. If you have a strap, make sure that you can use it or reach for your t-shirt. We're reaching for our hands again as you breathe in, look up. And then bow forward and down, pressing back through the hips. If you need to release the hands, please do so. If you need to sit up, do so. And then rise up. We're going to take eagle arms with the left arm under. This is kind of like, it feels like everything to rise up, right? But we're going to resurrect our spirit, all those spirits that we called in. Rise up onto your shins, right into eagle, foot forward, left leg. Let the hips drop back. And then come forward and down with your elbows towards your knees, looking forward. Take a big breath in. Stay as you breathe out. And then Utkatasana from there. Take out for sure, especially if it's kind of crampy. And then twist The right, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. See if you can draw the left knee back, left hip to sink a little deeper, and then pick up the left foot, especially as you exhale. It may take a couple times, like your perchy pose, and then send your leg back. Have a blanket there, maybe even nice. Release your knee down. Find a deeper twist from your guts. Staying here with the knee to the earth, more supported. And when you're ready to free it up, right leg up and high. And then draw the right knee to the left elbow and shoot the leg out to the side for your fallen triangle. Maybe you'll lift the right foot up for a breath. Extend the left arm forward. Step forward between your hands. Pick up the right arm just one more time before you make your way into your crouching tiger. You can move your padding out to the side. Move around through your hips. A vinyasa may feel good. To rinse it out before you make your way into downward dog. So left leg up and high. Step forward, rise up for your warrior one. Still straightening out through the left leg, scissoring the thighs. Open up through your elbows and your chest, and then find the palms behind you, either your elbows or your prayer. Move the hips back, reach back through the inner right thigh so it's anchored to allow you to spill the spine forward. Taking a few breaths before you drop your fingertips down. And then again, if you have blocks or books or anything to elevate the ground, you can take them behind you. This will help you again. The big thing is to find a real anchor with those fingertips. But first, bend the right knee. Press deeply into the left foot. Send the hips back, chest forward, and then use those exhales to pick up that right heel. You're going to really find the navel engage, this umbilical power. Maybe one more time on that exhale, that center of nourishment still continues to be where we can receive this great strength. And then launch yourself forward into your standing split. Bending a little bit through the knees, lengthening the legs. Play with a balance, maybe right hand to the left ankle, left hand to the left ankle. And then your inversion. It can be scary to do something so new, maybe for some of us, or risk-taking, but use your hands into the ground, and it's just playing with a couple hops. Little baby steps. And make your way down. If you're at a wall and you want to stick it and hold a handstand for a little while longer, absolutely do so. But we'll all meet in our seated spinal twist over towards the left. So right fingertips to the earth, your left arm can always come up. Before we look back, saying hi. Find your breath again. You can hear these whispers. It becomes a practice of mindfulness, of re-downloading perhaps a message, something a teacher said, a great artist, an innovator, a doctor, a physicist, a pioneer, an activist. Like a mantra. It doesn't have to be in Sanskrit. Mantra means, to transcend and to protect the mind. Counter twist to the other side with a bow of your head. Then let's set up for our Gomukasana on this side. So whatever support you needed to place underneath your sitting bones, The knees really want to be stacked on top of each other. See if you can drop into both hips. Place your hands to the tops of your feet. These are like the ears of the cow face, you know, that triangle, beautiful image. These ears. And then with the left leg on top, it's the right arm up. You can stay with your hands on your feet. If you'd like to include the arm variation, take a little pull, lift the chest, and then send the sitting bones back so that you can almost round in towards yourself if you're coming forward. Still move and breathe. And then rise on up for your eagle arms. It's the right arm under. Call on these great spirits. They're prana 1, maybe on a 2 and a 3. Come up onto your shins, lift up, step the left foot. And then come forward. This great sight, we're gifted. Vision. Spill out into your Utkatasana, and again, any kind of movements in your hips you'd like to take before your arms come up. And then twist to the left with your right elbow to the outer edge of your left knee. Steer the right knee back, sink down, twist, and then play with picking up the right foot before you send it back behind you. And maybe your knee comes to the ground. I definitely like to first stabilize my joints and my mind in the twist before I engage through the back heel, and then from there, opening up with your hands to the ground. When you're ready to let it go, plant your hands down, float the left leg high, take the left knee high up to your right elbow, and then shoot the leg out to the side. For your fallen triangle, step forward between your hands, pick up the left arm, and then make your way into a crouching tiger, a vinyasa if you need, and then child's pose. So take a couple of breaths there, find your head back to the ground. Allowing your head to release. And then do come back up onto your heels. And I would love us to take some variation, a deeper variation and longer held of a inversion. So if you have a wall that's comfortable for you to go to and you'd like to set yourself up, you can make your way there. And then the offerings are either to come into arm stand. So maybe first you'll take a forearm stand or set it up with your elbows underneath your shoulders, your hands up wide. I even like to come into a forearm plank first. And then being able to lift up through the hips. So you can even stay here for what's called a dolphin pose. And then you can extend the right leg high. There's that bend again in the left knee so that you're using the force of the feet to play with a couple of hops. Using the fingertips, this is our peacock feather, thinking great boas. So play around there. And then you can come back up using the other leg. But for those of you who do want to come into a headstand, Shirsasana, opening up our crowns, you can interlace your hands with your elbows underneath your shoulders and then plant the crown of your head to the ground. You'll tuck your toes under, lift your knees, pressing down into your forearms, shoulders away from the ears, and then maybe play with lifting one foot and then the other. Your legs can lift up. And then when you're ready to come down, take a few moments and come down. You can have a seat on your heels for a moment. Asana with a blanket underneath your sitting bones. Or just sitting on your heels too if you have anything. And this is the hero's pose. Shiro and hero, heroines and heroes that we really do need to have. Not to just adore others, but what it wakes up within us. Take another breath or two. And then when you're ready, you lower your bellies, maybe with some padding underneath your hip bone. And this will feel good to release the backs of the legs. As you interlace your hands, again, you're going to feel like you're being lifted, uplifted. As the shoulders lift, press down into the pelvis. See if you can lift up just an inch. It's not about how high, but strengthening that back body, calling in the strength of the back body so that our hearts can stay open. Take one more big breath in. Keep the back of the neck long by dropping the chin in slightly and then lower down. You can make a little pillow with your hands and shake out through your hips. And then taking Shalabhasana one more time with the legs long, arms behind you, or bend your knees for bow pose. So I'm having some lower back stuff, so I like to take my blanket a little bit higher. That can really support the lifting up of the chest, so you can flex through your feet. And then use the strength of the legs to open the heart. So you're really using those legs to lift the chest. Take one more big breath in. And then release down. Shake your hips out from side to side. And then roll over onto your backs for a bridge pose. So take a moment as you extend your arms forward. And then you can use something, you can have a more supported back bend for today. By bending your knees, slide your heels towards your hip bones, but widen the knees and draw the toes in a little. I see little toes flying out. That's every yoke. Scoop the back of the heart up. And then release your hands and release your hips. Draw the knees in. You can take your hands to your belly. One to your heart. And then come on up again. So it can be another half wheel. It can be a full wheel with your hands underneath your shoulders. Listen to your body. Each shape is like a great inspiration to pull out who we are. That's it, Tyler. Move a little forwards and backwards. Find your feet as much as your hands. Maybe bend the elbows a little bit so the shoulders can move away from the ears. Yes. And then begin to lengthen the arms. Nice, Bradley. And then begin to lower yourselves down. Keep your feet on the ground, the knees together. Windshield wiper your knees a little bit from side to side. If you've got one more back bend in you, you're welcome to come up one more time. Half wheel, full wheel, supported bridge. Really check in. Legs can lift this time. Arms can lift. Or stay right where you are and enjoy the sensations from coming out of the back bend. Sometimes it's the best feeling in the whole world. The energy that's released, awakened. And then begin to lower yourself down. Now you can give a hug of your knees into your chest. Massage your low back into the ground. Wrap the right leg around the left for eagle legs, and then a simple supine twist. So scoop the hips a little bit out towards the right, so the knees drop to the left, and then your right arm opens up wide. Yeah. Close your eyes and reconnect to your ujjayi breath. For me, it's so powerful to regulate my breath. That can regulate my emotions, regulate my mind. So we just keep coming back. And then transition over to the other side. Come through your back, unfurl, make it as smooth, as intentional. Scoop the hips over to the other side and then burst the arms open. And then again, there's this conscious looking back to the blessings we're bestowed. You can open up your left hand and say, bring it on. We need as much inspiration as we can. And then come back up towards center. Take your knees towards your armpits for a happy baby. So your sacrum stays low. That's it, Gus. Now the feet come straight up towards the ceiling and your ankles in line with your knee, and then you're just drawing your feet down. So it's more, yeah, stretching out that low back. I want tailbones moving towards the ground in that direction. And then you can begin to lengthen the legs out to the side, maybe one at a time, just like a happy baby. Or I like to take a straddle on my back. It's just so much more friendly. And so widen through the legs. Press your feet into your hands into your feet, and straighten the legs as much as you can. And that's it. Drawing the feet towards the ground. And then rebend your knees. Take the soles of your feet together in a prayer. And then pick up your head so your toes come towards the nose. You're still pulling the belly in towards the spine. And then a couple of rock and rolls up to sit. Take your right foot to the inside of the left, Savasana, and then extend the right arm up. A little bend in the left knee as you dive forward. You can still invite the right hand, and it's again for today, we're arm forward. Circle it all the way up and back to the floor behind you. Press down into the right shin. Arch up and back for a Stargazer. And then release your hips down and switch out your leg. Straighten out the right leg. Slide the left foot to your inner right thigh. Reach the left arm up as you breathe in. Really press your feet into your hands and then dive forward and in. Next inhale, stretch the left arm forward, open up the side waist, and then circle the left hand behind you into the left shin. Rise up as you breathe in. And then release your hips down. So last pose, stretch the legs out long. Roll a blanket underneath your knees is sometimes nice as it's just going to take us into Shavasana, but flex the feet, breathe the arms up, and then bow forward for Janu Shirsasana. Reach for the feet, pull back on the toes, stretch the spine long. Press the feet into the hands into the feet, and then bow down. Maybe even looking back to where you once were, how far you've come. All of this can give us inspiration. Not to stop any movement, but to keep it moving forward. A movement towards caring, towards compassion, towards courage, towards justice. And then inhale the arms up to the sky. Tent your fingertips behind you. Point your toes, the hips up as you breathe in. And then exhale, breathe out through the mouth. As you release your hips down, some of you may want to take, your Shavasana with the legs up the wall. You can lie flat down. For me, I really enjoy taking a restorative hip opener with the soles of my feet together. So if you have something to support your legs, definitely do. If you'd like to take it with the knees open, breathing into the pelvis, the center of our sexuality and creativity that we're honoring. Everybody's right, fight. Take your hands onto your low belly. Feel the breath just move down, fertilizing it, this fertile soil of strength and sometimes we dry up, so this watery element can be so wonderful to replenish our well. When we drink from the wisdom of others. And then begin to deepen the rhythm of your breath. Consciously gathering in strength, tapping into this energy. Let your knees move a little bit from side to side. And then roll over onto your right sides before you make your way up to sit. We can sit together for a couple moments. Sitting up tall, proud. Getting tangled up in this thing. Your shoulders draw back and hands rest on your knees. Shimmy your shoulders a little bit. The chest lift, drop the chin. Sitting in who you are. what you do, what you have. And in the bravery to be who you are, in the mirrors and reflections. We have around us to resource. We keep going back to, that we can reach for when we need them. Their voice, their encouragement, their love. Let's breathe in together. Bowing down and honoring one another with great love, with great respect, with so much gratitude.